Welcome, So-La-Rah here. I hope you guys are doing well today. I want to welcome my regulars. Welcome those of you who have been with me for a minute or from the beginning. I really do appreciate all the ways you guys show your love and your support and all the ways you've sewn into me on my journey so far. Thank you to those of you who have made donations to the channel. Thank you to those of you who have donated decks to myself and the channel. I really do appreciate each and every gesture, your messages of gratitude. All of it is appreciated. And as I like to say, appreciation is the ability to actually give back value to someone or to help them grow in value. So I hope that through our exchange, I help to appreciate you in value as you tap into the truth of who you've always been, really. And I want to thank you for doing the same for me. Welcome if you are here for the first time. If you are vibing with my energy and the messages I have been sent to share with the collective, then please make sure to, do the YouTube thing. Like, share, subscribe, comment below, introduce yourself. And welcome to those of you who recently subscribed. I'm going to get into a reading. I do have downloads, but I don't think I'm going to get into them because, and I know I say this a lot of the time, but I actually cannot stay on here too long tonight. So definitely less than an hour, so I'm probably going to get into a reading. But I do want to say that when I woke up yesterday morning, I had this gratitude towards the collective, towards you guys, really. I had this sense of profound gratitude within my own soul about my journey, and I was reflecting, and I was thinking about how this is the first time in my life where I feel like I'm not living like in a petri dish, kind of. I don't feel like everything I'm doing is constantly picked apart. And that's not to say that's because it's not the case. I know there are many people who come onto here and I rub them the wrong way, so they will watch the video and some of the stuff I'm saying they'll agree with, but because they inherently don't like me, they'll find a reason. They'll find the one reason, the one thing that I don't say perfectly, and they'll get in the comments and say something. I'm not talking about that so much. I'm talking about the overall energy and the reception. It's been just so beautiful, and it's assisting me to move forward on my own journey. So like I said, I'm here to appreciate you and value. We're here to do that for one another, and that is a big theme of right now. We are in Taurus season. We are a few days. We are presently the sun is at 7 degrees. Taurus, which is a Cancer energy, it is the energy of the Chariot. I believe the moon was in Cancer and now is in Leo. Astronomically, it's in Cancer, but astrologically, it's in Leo. And presently, we have 3 signs in Taurus. So we have the sun, obviously. We have Mercury going backwards through Taurus, through the 2nd decan presently. So we have the sun in 5 of Pentacles energy. We've got the moon in 6 of Pentacles energy. And then we've got Uranus, I believe, also in 6 of Pentacles energy. I believe Uranus is also in the 2nd decan of Taurus. And then we've got the north nodes. The nodes are in Taurus and Scorpio. The north node is in Taurus at 4 degrees, I believe, which is Emperor energy in the tarot, or the energy of setting a foundation. And you can kind of see it right now as a false foundations that the matrix, the old world, was built upon as the nodes go backwards, right? As we are at that 4 degree, it's really pulling apart the old value system. That's what's happening because the nodes go backwards. And actually, even with Mercury retrograding through Taurus, Mercury is really about how we communicate with spirit and how spirit communicates with us. That's one facet. That's the one I tend to focus on. So with Mercury retrograding through Taurus, the conversation that spirit is having with us right now is, where are you aligned in your value system? Are you still holding on to the old energies of the matrix? Are you conducting yourself with that old value system? Are you believing those things that aligned you with that value system? Are you treating others in any way in that old value system? And right now, that's a big energy. With all of this Taurus energy, we are being called into alignment to recognize right now where we are still needing to do the work to make ourselves ready for what we're calling the New Earth financial system, which is ultimately rooted in our frequency. And I've talked about this in other videos. And ultimately what it means is your value system is going to determine, your value system already does determine your frequency. Your value system, your ability to vibrate in truth, your thoughts, everything that contributes to your vibration is what makes up your frequency. And the New Earth financial system is very much rooted in frequency. That's why it cannot be faked. You cannot fake frequency. You cannot fake energy. And so as such, right now, a lot of us are being put through the ringer to find out, what do we believe? Because your value system is based upon your set of beliefs about yourself, others, and the world. Okay? So I've said it before, I'm going to reiterate it again. You increase your value by being able to find the value in everything and everyone and growing it. As you grow your own sense of value for self, as you are able to find the value in other people and help them to grow that too, appreciate them, as you are able to find the value in the world and to focus on that and grow it too. This value system that is the foundation, one of the building blocks, I should say, for this New Earth financial system is able to be born. So again, it's very dependent upon our own internal journey with how we feel about ourselves and our ability to rise into our divine power and truth, and to then give that back to others. Because once we find the value in self, it's only then that we're able to find the value in others, give value to others, and be able to expand our value in the world. So really what I'm talking about here is alchemy. Right? This is partly why we've been going through everything we've been going through. This is why we've been like in really difficult situations that we've had to maneuver through. We've had to learn how to alchemize our own mindsets and our own emotions in order to break free from certain energies that ultimately wanted to destroy us. It's all alchemy. And the way you do that is that every time an energy comes into your fields, instead of retracting from it, constricting, and moving into fear mode, where is my wand? Where's my selenite wand? Oh, here we go. Okay, so here's a trusty vibrational scale, guys, okay? Fear makes you small. Fear makes you curl up into a ball, right? And shame being the lowest vibration. And really, you're supposed to be, we as divine beings are supposed to be vibrating up here in love, right? So everything that comes to make you, when energies enter your field, you have a choice. We all have a choice. Because like I've said to you before, the vibrational scale is here to help you maintain a vibration that then aligns you with the truth of your frequency. And your frequency, you reach the truth of your frequency when you are aligned with who you are, and you are love. So anytime you find yourself in these lower energies, they're there to guide you and to help you find your way up. You're not supposed to stay there for any amount of time, right? So the way that you find your way back up is that you find the value, you find the lesson, you find the wisdom, you find the activation. So what do I mean by that? I mean that every time something occurs in your life that makes you want to shrink back in fear, instead of shrinking back in fear, you're quick now to say, okay, Spirit, what are you showing me here? I have nothing to fear. I am a divine being. I am divine love. I am divinely protected. By now, I should have some concrete evidence of that if I'm truly in my own energy and I'm reflecting upon everything I've ever been through and the fact that I have been able to overcome, even when I wasn't in alignment. Now that I am, how much more am I divinely protected? So that's one conversation we can have with ourselves, right? And so when we're able to recognize that, we can then begin to feel safe in our energy and safe in our protection. And then we can say, okay, well, now that I feel safe, show me what the lesson is. Show me the value. Show me what it is that I'm here to glean for myself. Because everything that comes into your fields is an opportunity to grow your value. So at every turn right now, we should be looking for the value. We should be finding the value in everything and everyone. And that's how it should have always been, because this is how we learn how to have respect for every facet of life and situation and being, no matter, what it is. And that's very different from tolerating bad behavior. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that even a lot of us, our so-called enemies, are the ones who have helped us to wield our sense of value and power by causing us to have to wake up because of their poor treatment. So that's one area where we can say, okay, I can find the value in that. Yes, it was a shitty circumstance. No, it shouldn't have happened. No, it doesn't make them a good person. And yet I'm able to still glean what it was that I gained from it and keep it moving. And with that said, I want to get into the cards, but I had one of you email me, and I meant to speak about this on Monday. Somebody emailed me and said, could you talk a little bit about forgiveness? And I feel like it is a salient topic to speak on, especially at this time as we are in eclipse season and we are in this energy of clearing and having things eclipsed out of our realities that are or have been blocks to our divine expansion. So I'm going to give you a very quick synopsis on how I feel about forgiveness as I've been shown it by my guides. So forgiveness is a difficult thing because when you've been wronged by somebody or a group of people, you do have every right to be pissed. You have every right to every emotion that comes up when you have been treated in ways that are unjust. But here's the thing, forgiveness is ultimately for you, it's not for them. And I want to explain to you why that is, okay? So first and foremost, I want to preempt that by saying I do not believe in coercive forgiveness. I do not believe in the, it was very, when I was a Christian, this was always, we were always guilted and shamed. And fear tactics were used to get us to forgive. That's not true forgiveness. True forgiveness is actually just letting go of the energy. That's what it is. This is why it's important. It's for you and it's not for the other person, because energetically speaking, for as long as you're holding on to a person and what it is they've done to you and you are stewing and ruminating on that energy, you are still creating an energetic link whereby that person, because you're not in complete command of your energy, because oftentimes when we are still ruminating about things, we're still allowing them to have some kind of command over our emotions and our thoughts, which means they have access to our energy fields. So forgiveness is actually letting go of the energetic link so that balance can be restored in the situation. That's what it is. Forgiveness is letting go of the energetic link that you have that would keep you tied into the energy still. And for as long as you're tied into the energy, it's hard to bring justice. You know, like how you hear about, like you hear some readers say, the tower is coming for these people, so make sure you're out of the way. A lot of the time, especially if someone's done you wrong in a really bad way, the reason also they want to hold on to your energy, sometimes consciously, but mostly subconsciously, is because if they haven't done anything to bring balance to what they've done, for one thing, And even if they have done, because there's still consequences for our actions, even when we come and, try to make things right, they may be lessened, but they're still there. A lot of the time, the reason why they want you holding on and actually not forgiving, they want you in resentment and bitterness, they want you holding on to the situation, because there's still that energetic link. And for as long as there is that energetic link, justice and balance isn't going to come. So forgiveness is for you so that you can be moved out of the way energetically, and the balance and the justice that needs to come into the situation, because justice is just the balancing of energies, the natural rebalancing of energies can come into the situation, whereas before it couldn't, because there was still that link that was causing the distortion. So that's what I feel about forgiveness. But I also believe that forgiveness is a process. And the deeper you've built emotional bonds and situations with people, the more you have to keep on coming. It's not too different from cord cutting. Every time you cut a cord, that person wants to come back into your energy, and you've just got to keep on doing it until the energy begins to wane and wane and wane, right? Forgiveness isn't too different. You might have to come back several times and make that commitment to forgive. And oftentimes it is a commitment to first forgive before you actually begin to feel the letting go of the situation. It's the first, I'm making the decision, and you can speak to your team. I'm ready now. I'm ready to let go of this. I've grieved it, I've mourned it, I've processed it. It's no longer, holding on to it is no longer doing anything to help me. So now it's time for me to let it go. Help me now to let it go. Okay, so that's how I feel about forgiveness. Please, all of you, feel free to share in the comments below, or if you're in the live chat tonight, feel free to share your own experiences and opinions, because we're all individual, and we all have to ultimately process all of these situations and emotions and circumstances in our own lives in ways that bring honor to our own souls. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to get into a reading. I'm going to start with the Moonology Oracle. Let's see what messages Spirit has for us today. Not ready, but the Gibbous Moon card did come out. You're very close to achieving your goal. Gibbous Moon. So that means an energy is really, really reaching the point of, I don't want to say closure. This feels like more like birthing. And of course, we are all going through this birthing. We are all in the birthing canal. We're crowning, we're coming out, we're being born into the truth of who we are. So that's becoming more and more apparent with each passing day, which is exactly why this Taurus season we are being brought back to this place of really, aligning ourselves, deciding what it is that we want to believe. Taurus is connected to your throat chakra. So a lot of throat chakra activations have already been happening. There's been a lot of like sore throats and congestion in that area. Yes, to some extent it can be attacks against, but it's also activations that are coming in because the throat chakra, that Taurus energy, helps to align you with the frequency of truth. And it's through that frequency of truth that you're able to access your divine blueprint, what it is you're here to do at this time, the instructions, the unveiling of your true gifts and talents and your powers, everything that you've been sent here, what you've been equipped with to move forward in your truth. Taurus energy is out of the blueprint, and the solar plexus, I like to say that's the gold print. That's when you begin to actualize it in real time on Earth. So the blueprint are the instructions. The gold print is the carrying out of that energy. Okay, so while we're on this energy, while I'm saying the word attack, let me just say the areas I'm feeling are of focus right now for many I'm not going to get into this too much tonight, but I'm really feeling it in the second house, which of course is ruled by Taurus. So check out your own second house. That is your house of personal value. What it is, all it is, you've been given in this incarnation to come into the world to share and grow. It's all about your value, your divine value, and everything that means, your birthrights, your divine abundance. It's everything, your talents, your gifts. That's what the Taurus energy is. It's your blueprint. Okay, so that's one area of obvious attack. The 6th house and the 10th house are where I'm picking up a lot of energies too, as well as to some extent the 3rd house, but more so the 2nd house because of that value, the 6th house because of your ability to set routines that bring value, look after yourself and your body, your health. All of the Mercury retrogrades this year are in earth signs because Spirit is having conversations with us about how we are now beginning to conduct ourselves materially in ways that are in alignment with who we say we now are. Okay, so Mercury retrograde, as I see it, it's when Spirit begins to slow us down so we can review, but also so we can have conversations so that when Mercury goes direct, we know what direction we're moving in. So the fact that it's an earth sign, it's very much to do with our material and physical reality. So that has to do with our health, our finances, our homes, our stability, nature, the natural world. And the 10th house, of course, that has to do with your ability to take all of your gifts and your talents and your power and your value. That's taking it out into the world. It's connected to Capricorn energy, and traditionally in astrology, it's your career, right? But really what it is, it's the taking of your gifts and it's sharing it in a way that helps to benefit the world, helps to benefit communities, helps to benefit the natural world. It's also where you begin to be seen and celebrated for doing that. So these are the areas where I'm really feeling are under attack. And as I was writing in the Daily Alchemy members portal yesterday, those of you who have activations coming in because you're able to heal with your hands and do all manner of things through the energy of your hand chakras, there's resistance in that area too. Okay, so let's see what came out. New moon in Gemini, communication is key. So that's exactly what I'm talking about, the hands. Gemini rules the hands. And why is that? Because Taurus energy rules the throat. It's your truth. Gemini rules the hands. It's how the energy of the throat travels to the hands. And what do I mean? Taurus is your value. Like I said, it's what you've been gifted to bring to the world. It's your message. It's your raison d'etre. It's your reason for being here at this time. And the Gemini energy is what equips us to be able to take it out into the world and begin to grow it. That's why in astrology, Gemini rules over the 3rd house, which is ultimately about the beginning of recognizing your value. It's about the experiences that you have in your formative years with siblings, communities, neighbors, and what it means when you first begin to showcase your value and those impressions that you continue to carry throughout adulthood. That's the beginning of the seeds being planted about who you are and your limitations. It occurs in the 3rd house. So that's Gemini energy. So there is some resistance against your being able to express your truth. And that's another message that's coming through. Because Taurus rules the throat, right now is and it's fixed energy also, which means that the decisions that you make in this energy right now ultimately have a really good chance of rooting. So be very, very careful the seeds that you are planting, and be very, very careful that the seeds you're allowing others to plant in your energy. Be careful of what is adding to your value and what is taking or snatching from your value by way of the things you think about yourself, the ways you feel, staying in energies too long that promote energies that are not in alignment with your divine truth, as well as letting others linger in your fields who are planting or contributing to growing energies that are out of alignment with your true divine value. Okay, so Therefore, Taurus energy right now is going to be very important for you to speak up, to speak your truth, to speak the truth that is helping you to stay true to who you are divinely, to your value system, to what it is that you've come here to do, express, and be in the world. Okay, so right now, one of the main battles that we might be coming up against are how people value us, how people value you, how they appreciate you. Okay, and then vice versa. Be very, very aware. Do not allow energies in your field right now that depreciate or devalue you in any way. And don't do that for yourself, because really that's where it all begins anyway. For as long as you're valuing and appreciating the value that you've been innately and divinely given, you already are creating boundaries around yourself, whereby when someone comes in to devalue you, you can show them the direction, you can show them the door out. Yes? So we have here, the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Okay, so we had the gibbous moon coming out. You're very close to your goal. These are all growing energies because there's something new coming in. And I was feeling that, and I wrote about it in the Daily Alchemy members portal yesterday. And I cited Gemini season because that's the message I was picking up, that there's something coming in Gemini season. And excuse me, the message that was coming through was that there was a big shift in an energy dynamic around the full moon in Libra for many of you, like especially for those of you who have had this these people beings, energies, factions, you know, all up in your energy, trying to command and control you and your destiny, and siphon and steal and all of that stuff. There was a shift around the full moon in Libra, and that's not to say that they have stopped. They might have continued, but there's been a shift in their ability to do certain things. And for some of you, what you're going to begin to see the material benefits of that come Gemini season, meaning that you will be able, you probably are already getting your energy back if this is you, and you're going to be able to see some of the fruit of that in Gemini season. But also, I think that for some of you, the material truth of what has been happening, because that energy is closing out for you, you're going to get more answers in Gemini season. Yes. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. So this again is, like I said, even though this is Gemini energy, we are in Taurus season, which is connected to your throat, connected to your truth, connected to your divine blueprint, connected to the full expression of that. Make sure you're speaking up right now about the things that are, make sure you're speaking up right now about what it is that you're willing to accept and what it is you're not willing to accept when it comes to who you know you are now. Okay, so that could be with other people, but it also needs to be with self. This is where you set the foundation with self of what moving forward you are going to accept based upon the energy of what it is was revealed to you during Aries season in terms of who you are divinely. Because I know a lot of you, I've received emails from you too, and I know because I'm part of the collective also, a lot of us were receiving downloads and activations throughout Aries season that were showing us deeper about who we are divinely, beyond the flesh suits we're wearing, who we are, the gifts that we wield, what's being unwrapped for many of us. That was a big theme in Aries season. And I want to say something else, because since the equinox, a lot of this energy of rattling people financially and their abundance, it's been there big time, because the whole point was to throw, the nefarious thing was to throw people off balance. But divinely, everything must, everything is born from chaos. So when something has been instituted for so long, the only way to bring in something new is to tear it down, and that brings the energies of imbalance. So right now, that's where these energies are converging, right? But it's really important for you to know that those energies are actually integral to you building the truth of who you are in terms of establishing your value system. And the reason for that is we're in Five of Pentacles energy as far as the Sun in Taurus, and then the Mercury and Uranus, they're in North Node is also in Five of Pentacles. I knew there was another one. So there are two energies astrologically that are at Five of Pentacles. The Sun in Taurus at 7 degrees, and the North Node in Taurus at 4 degrees presently. Okay, and so the Five of Pentacles, that energy, it's the energy that speaks about instability, right? It speaks about financial instability, especially. It speaks about fluctuations in health. It's an energy of imbalance. Fives are energies that tend to feel imbalanced because they're bringing in change. If you look at five from a sacred level, if you look at it from, in terms of sacred geometry, five is when life actually begins. Hence the reason why in the tarot, it's the Hierophant, and it's that energy of leveling up and graduating, because the number 5 is what occurs after the number 4 sets the foundation. So the foundation is set, and 5 is actually the energy of the birthing. But again, birthing energy it's chaotic, it's uncertain, it means certain change. It's uncertain in its feeling because it means certain change. So that's one way to look at the 5 energy. But the 5 of Pentacles card in the tarot, it also speaks about like ride or die energies, those people who you would ride or die with, for one thing, which that's not altogether a healthy statement, but we're not dissecting that right now. I think you get what I'm saying when I say that. But it's also about those stuck mindsets and traditions. Remember, 5s are to do with traditions, the Hierophant, and that's connected to the 5 of Pentacles because it's a 5. It's to do with those stuck energies of the stuck traditions, the traditions that we've become stuck to, especially because it's Pentacles energy in terms of how we view our health, in terms of how we view money, in terms of how we view stability. So actually right now in Taurus season, it's a really good thing to begin to introduce the new traditions, the new mindsets, the new ways of thinking and doing things that are now in better alignment with where it is that you're going. Yes? Sorry, I was just trying to see if there was anything else to the message, anything else wanting to come through. Where are we? We're at 32 minutes in. Yeah. We have nothing as yet set in stone, mutable moon, right? And then we have your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. So yes, again, this is the energy that I'm talking about right now. There's a lot of uncertainty because of the imbalances, and for many of you, because of the financial instability or any instability that the equinox brought in that you're still kind of feeling, right? There is that, but ultimately, when all of this is over, right now, the way you are thinking about it, the way you are applying your energy to the situation is what you are building. In other words, if you are in a state of fear and you're worried and you're thinking that that spell of the equinox energy of this, or any spell, is greater than you, or anyone's command over your energy is actually greater than your own, you're not in divine alignment. And therefore you are going to create a cycle that is in alignment with that energy that you keep on feeding. In other words, like I showed you with the vibrational scale, you're not here to get stuck in fear. And that's not to say that you don't visit it, because we all do. We're humans. We're also having a human experience. But this is where that lesson, find the value in it in order to rise. What is the value? Ask your guides, ask your team. What are you showing me about this? What is it that I'm here to learn? Because here's the thing, once you've learned a lesson, the lesson you're supposed to learn, the door will be opened for you to move forward. But too often we stay in spaces longer than we should be because we stay stuck in fear, in guilt, in shame, and lower vibrational energies that get us stuck. because we're worried and we're in a constricted state. And then we fall into survival mode, right? And we're taken out of alignment. And really, we would only visit those energies. We bounce into those energies, and we wouldn't stay there if we would be quick to find the lesson instead of worrying about the energy. The energy is there as a barometer. It's not always there for you to. It's almost never, when it's a lower vibrational energy, it's never there for you to sit in and to live in. It's there for you to explore it to the extent that you need to learn the lesson, gain the wisdom, gain the value, and get out. And when you gain the value, you are increasing your value. You are appreciating the value that you already came into the planet to give. You are actually oftentimes releasing some of that divine value that is activated through the experience. That's what it is. When you recognize and you realize that and you flow through it in that way, it doesn't become as intimidating. When you have the foundation of trusting yourself and trusting your guides, you begin to sail through. And even when the fear comes, it can't take you under. So right now, with these energies of your commitment is being tested, and nothing is yet set in stone. Nothing is yet set in stone until you decide what you are committed to. Are you committed to the illusion? Are you committed to the projection? Are you committed to the bullying energies that want to make you feel they're more powerful than you? Or are you committed to your divine truth? Yes? And I also, I want to say this because my guides are getting on me to speak my truth tonight too, and to share something also, that I'm not a person who cares for conflict and all that other stuff, but I do speak my truth now because I've been in too many situations where, because I am a person who doesn't like to step on toes and everything, I've been taken advantage of. For those of you who keep on emailing people like me, not just me, if you do it to anyone, and you're constantly coming to us because you want something, right, from us, but you don't want to give anything in return, there's enough of that behavior now. There's enough of that behavior now. I don't mind helping people for free. I don't mind helping people when I know they're in a jam, but some people come and they take advantage of spiritualists and their niceness, because it's almost like they feel like because the work we do is spiritual, they're entitled to our energy. You're not. You're not entitled to my energy. Everything I share, the wisdom and the power I've gained, has been through all of the pain and the alchemy that I have been placed through and that I have graduated from. That is worth more than all the money on this planet, period, because my value system is not based upon money. So I say that because I can tell the difference between someone coming into my fields who is genuine and who needs help and who respects my value, but just genuinely needs help, versus a person who comes into my fields wanting something from me, but not really respecting my value, but just wanting what it is that they think they can get from me. That, my friend, is a form of narcissism. It's a form of energy harvesting. It's a devaluation of who it is I am and who it is the divine says I am. And I'm not accepting that energy in my fields anymore. So be very aware of how you come towards other people, especially those who are in divine alignment. Be careful how you deal with divine beings. Be careful that you are fully recognizing and appreciating the value in your fellow divine beings, because it is a reflection of the value you find in yourself and how you're able to then expand that for yourself, for them, which is also for yourself, and for the world. Okay? We are being shown right now how to let go of all of the ways that we unconsciously have subscribed to the programs of the Matrix, where we ourselves were caught up in shoddy energy exchanges where we were taking without replenishing. Okay? That's all I'm going to say on that, but I didn't want to get into it, but my guides keep on being like, say it. So I'm saying it because I can't be on here telling you to speak your truth and to assert your value and not do so myself. Where do you want me to go? And like I said in the beginning, to all of you who truly appreciate who I am as a being, not just what it is that I come and speak to you, but who I am, because whatever it is, like I said, that I speak to you, this isn't something I learned in a book. It's not something I learned in a class. This is from a lifetime of alchemizing pain and choosing 2133 on my clock, fighting to do this for myself, by myself for the most part, and wanting, literally, part of my purpose, my passion, my pleasure is to see other people rise and get free. I would do this if we didn't live in a system where we needed money to survive. I would do this for free for the sheer joy it brings my soul, because it's my purpose, right? But I can tell when people don't appreciate that and they just want to take from me. And I ain't doing that no more. And none of us should be doing that if we're trying to build a new world and a new earth that is based upon equal energy exchanges where people are appreciated and valued and, you know, we're growing together, loving together. All of that has to be, looked at within self now. It really has to be looked at within self. We are really, like I said on Monday, we are going through a process right now where our ability to be self-aware, we are really being shown like how to be, like looking at the scruples. You get what I'm saying? But the point of it is never to guilt or to shame. The point of it is to help us to elevate and to actually create this world that we say we want. That is not possible for as long as we're holding on to the energies that created, the energies and the programs that created the world that we're doing our best to put an end to, right? And it's also because, you know, so many of us are entering into divine partnerships and divine co-creatorships, and we must learn how to see these things in ourselves honestly without becoming too defensive anymore, so that when we have these opportunities to have divine mirrors before us in the form of divine partners and divine co-creators, we don't wound ourselves and them because we're not able to be fully self-aware and accountable for the ways that we still, you know, are operating from the old programs and the old spells, you know. And again, there's no condemnation because they're programs and they're spells, but we must take responsibility for the way that we are wielding our energy, using our energy, you know, going to other people with those energies. It's time to take responsibility. Otherwise, we're going to create the very same mess that we're all desiring to break out of. We're going into the dragons. What is this? Yeah, Black Dragon from Saturn brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. So Saturnian energy, it is that energy of discipline, right? Concentrate, focus on your ultimate vision, congratulate yourself, you have passed a test. So the Black Dragon from Saturn, this is all about the energy of being disciplined with, again, it's like what I was saying, being disciplined with seeing those areas within our own shadows that had us bound. Saturnian energy is here to set you free for as long as you're willing to see, to be disciplined enough to see what it is that you need to see to walk into freedom and to adjust your path and your mindset in alignment with that, right? And the Saturnian energy, people don't like it because the Saturnian energy comes to set things straight, but it's only harsh if we're not, if we're in denial, or if we're choosing not to see. So the black dragon from Saturn is here to help us to see these parts of self and these parts of self in order to be disciplined enough to do the root work. We're doing a lot of root work right now, yeah, in terms of dissecting the root energies and clearing them off our land so that the seeds that we plant, they're not going to be choked by the energies of the old, right? And that word discipline, I want to hone in on that also, because we can be triggered by that word discipline, right? Because it's been used in the wrong way. But to be disciplined means to be teachable, is really what it means. It means to be able to be a disciple. That's what it means. Okay, so where are we open enough to learn the more confronting lessons that are ultimately going to free us? And are we disciplined enough to not only hear them, but to apply them? Because what I'm noticing right now, and this is where we're going to start to see very soon, you know, there's a lot of knowing, but not enough applying sometimes with the things that we're being taught. Hence the reason why, you know, so many people love to stay stuck listening to the same narratives in tarot, you know, again and again. I talked about this energy last week and finding the balance in that, because if we're not careful, we can learn and we can know things. We can tell you all about energy harvesting and telling you how it happens and all that other stuff. But have you found the ways that you have also been contributing to that energy? Have you snuffed that out in yourself too? Or are you still in unequal energy exchanges where you're either taking from someone, because this is the energy that they're showing me right now. It's not the being taken from. We're really good at identifying when someone's taking from us. But are you identifying where you're taking from others? Are we identifying where we're taking from others or from something else and not replenishing? Are we learning as divine beings that our job here is whenever we meet a person, we go to a place, we should leave those people, places in better energies than we met them, because that's how we build value. You get it? And it's simple, because you're alchemists. You have the power to go into a room and change up the energy. And in doing that, you leave the room in a better state than when you walked into it. Whether that energy is that you bring joy and you help to lift the spirits, or you see a person on the street and you smile, or you say hello, or you ask them how they're doing and you take interest in them for just a moment. You're leaving that person in a better state than what you met them in. Or whether it is that you are going out and you're seeing rubbish on the street and you're picking it up. You're leaving the street, the earth, your home in a better state than you found it in. You get what I'm saying? And there was something else I was going to say about that. What was it? Yeah. It's all about, I can't remember right now, and I've got to get going soon, but it's all about increasing our value right now and connecting with the truth of our value system. And when you are able to leave a person in a better state than when you met them, and this was the other one, because the joy one is easy, but even when you go into someone's fields and you speak truth to them, and they may not like what it is you have to say, but you're coming at them from a place of love, right? And wanting them to be free. It's not a place of judgment or trying to belittle them or energy harvest. It's really like, no, you need to know this so you can get free. You're leaving them in a better state because you've given them access to truth. Now, what they do with that truth is up to them. But this is what our job is as divine beings. This is how we are circulating these energies that we have been reconnecting to in hermit mode. It's time for us, a lot of us are being moved out into the world to begin the circulation of those energies. And so our purpose from here on out, it is going to be that we always leave a person or a situation in a better state then we found them. Or we strive to, because we're not perfect. We're gonna mess up, and there's no perfection, just sincerity of heart. Because when we mess up, we go back and we apologize, and we reset the balance to 0 point, right? But we're being shown how to be conscientious again, because this is how we heal ourselves, and we heal one another, and we heal the earth, right? At the bottom, we have Aquamarine Dragon from Neptune. Beautiful. Enables you to access your deepest soul wisdom. Spirituality and wisdom are available to you. Develop your psychic abilities and receive ineffable soul knowledge. So the Neptunian energy, Neptunian dragon and Saturnian, we've got two planetary dragons showing up for us. The Saturnian energy that's here to help us to disciple ourselves into that place of discipline where we find the roots within the shadow of the certain energies and the programs, so we can get rid of them and we can change the way that we're dealing with, so we don't get stuck in karmic cycles, because that's what you don't learn. You get put back into the cycle until you do. That's the Saturn energy, right? The Neptunian energy is gorgeous because 21:44 on my clock. Neptunian energy is all about our ability to connect to the higher octave of love, the true divinity of love, the higher octave of all things divine, including these lessons on our value. So that's what the Neptunian energy is, and we access that through the wisdom of our soul. And for many of you, as I speak this, you already know this. Whether you know it consciously or unconsciously, it might be resonating because you have lived like this before. Once upon a time, we lived together completely honoring the sacredness of one another, the sacredness of our individuality, the sacredness of everything we brought to the table, right, as beings. Because everyone but everyone has that Taurus value. It's how we choose to see it in ourselves, appreciate it in ourselves, and see it in others and grow it in others. Or we can do what we did in the Matrix, which is exploit that. But we're not doing that anymore. So the Neptunian energy is here to waken that up in your DNA again, because you've done this before. And many of you, not only have you done this before, but you're here to seed the codes in for this new energy, to assist the divine collective in accessing that expanded level of consciousness when it comes to how we work together, how we communicate, how we deal with sacred energy exchanges again. You get what I'm saying? You're here to seed that energy in to make it available to the wider collective consciousness. Okay, so I'm going to get you an Abundance Angels deck, an Abundance Angels card. I said that in the last reading too. An Abundance Angels card, and I'm going to be on my way. We're going to see where we need to do a little bit of work in that area, or what messages Spirit wants to give us about how to expand that abundance frequency, or our ability to grow in value. So at the bottom, we do have visualize abundance in all forms. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience. So this is again, reiterating the message that I was saying before about where your mind is, where you're placing your energy right now in terms of what it is you're building, because of that fixed energy of Taurus, and then we have the attracting, not chasing card. Okay, so again, like I said earlier on in the video, when you have set the foundation of trusting in yourself, because you trust in who you are divinely, you know it now. It's not just you're knowing it, but you're living it. It's made a connection to your heart's truth, and now you're walking it. And as such, you also have complete trust in your spiritual guides, also in your protection, and that you're not being walked off a cliff into, a pit. You're not. If you are in divine alignment, and when you realize that even when you weren't, you still weren't walked into a pit by your team, right? You've always been protected. When you begin to really trust that, you can switch out of the energy of fear, which also, fear will also tune you into energies of desperation. And fear and desperation put you in survival mode, which shrinks your energy field, and it can make your energy very scattered and therefore susceptible to things that are counter to your truth. Okay, and in that energy of fear and desperation is when we start to chase after things, because we don't believe if we're chasing, or whenever we chase, it's because we're not believing that we are wealth, we are abundance, that we are divine, that all of these things that we've been shown are ours, and we've been shown this is who we are. We're not fully believing that yet, which is why we're able to be shifted so easily into those energies of fear and desperation, and we don't bounce back very quickly, right? So this is what this is about here. It's about establishing that foundation of trust in yourself, trust in your journey, trust in your path, trust in your guides, and also, guys, trusting that everything you need to move forward on this journey, it is within you. There's nothing, and I can say this with confidence because it is even a part of a universal law. There is nothing, there's no situation, there's nothing that you can be put into that you actually don't have the ability to get out of, no matter how difficult it may seem to you, because that's how powerful you are. And I can say that also from experience. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to love you and leave you. I thank you guys so much for hanging with me. If you'd like to know more information about my services, you can always check out my website. The information for that will always be in the description box below. If you would like to donate to the channel or to donate a deck to the channel, you can find my PayPal and my wish list in the description box below. If you would like to join the Daily Alchemy members portal, that information is also on my website. I have all my email addresses below. I've got, I think, about 3 of them for backups because of the fuckery, etc. So yes, I think that's it. Yes, so I wish you guys stability. I wish you stability within self. I wish that that you find the trust within self that also is connected to your own birthright, right? You have a divine right to peace, to a peace that surpasses all understanding in the midst of the worst of storms, because you carry that energy. And anyone who is, like trying to get that from you is out of divine order. They're out of divine order, but they're going to continue to try to do that for as long as you don't state that you know that. You must state the boundary. You must use your voice. You must activate that throat chakra and either speak it, and it doesn't have to be to the person, but you also have to align with that truth within self. So right now, like that Taurus energy, it's all about your energy field. Time to be very, very protective of your value, and also aware of how we are interacting with other people's value. Are we appreciating the value of every living being, everything, not even just living being, but everything that comes onto our path? Because the more we do that, the more we also increase in gratitude, and the more we increase in value, which attracts to us more. Okay, so I wish you guys love, joy, peace, beauty, every gorgeous, splendiferous thing under the sun. Until next time, be well.